मैं ओपी उपाध्याय, केबी नंबर 3, टीजीटी मैथ्स, सेकंड सेशन, क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस ऑफ एसटीपी एंड लेसन प्लानिंग पर हम लोग चर्चा करेंगे। ऑब्जेक्टिव: एट द एंड ऑफ द सेशन, पार्टिसिपेंट्स विल बी एबल टू डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन एटीट्यूड एंड बिहेवियर, डिस्कस टीचिंग फिलोसफी, write their own statement of teaching philosophy, discuss the importance of lesson planning in teaching learning process, write lesson plan for a learning unit. Why I teach entry behavior, what I teach, content, how I teach, pedagogy, how I measure. Highlights of CBSE curriculum 2022-23. While preparing the lesson plan for the topics, these plans should have the following parts: learning outcomes, pedagogical strategy, group activities, experiments, hands-on learning, interdisciplinary linkage and fusion of life skill, values, gender, sensitivity, etc., resources, assessment items for measuring the attainment of the learning outcome, feedback, and remedial teaching plan, inclusive practices. आगे बढ़िए।
वही बोलिए सर। फादर वही तो बोलते हैं।
Yes, innovation, networking, sharing, learning. Student center. Why I teach, what I teach, how I teach, how I measure. Philosophy. An attitude that acts as a guiding principle for behavior. Attitude is defined as a person's mental tendency which is responsible for the way he thinks or feels for someone. It is person's inner thoughts and feelings. Behavior implies the actions, moves of a person towards other person. Behavior expresses a person's attitude. Behavior is ruled by our attitude. What is philosophy? An attitude that acts as a guiding principle for behavior. It is a statement of reflection about your belief that influence your actions. It is the process of continuous examining, justifying, and verifying your personal beliefs. Teaching philosophy. A self-reflective statement of your belief about teaching and learning. My teaching philosophy: commitment to measuring the potential in each child, positive teacher-students relationship, transparent system of discipline, collaborative learning and practice, a healthy and resilient classroom environment. How to write a teaching philosophy? It is truly up to you to create a philosophy that accurately expresses your unique teaching style, values, and beliefs when it comes to teaching. Some of the most important areas you may want to address in your personal philosophy are: clear statement about what you believe and how you intend to implement and support your belief. Explaining the values that guide your teaching belief, including specific examples of teaching theories and approaches. It can include how children learn, your role as a teacher, your understanding about teaching, learning process, your commitment to the subject, to the students. Relate your philosophy to current trends and theories, as this philosophy should guide your action as a teacher. Never use the word you or we. Teaching is an art and different individuals have various artist style of teaching and learning. So when writing your philosophy statements, always use the pronouns I or my. Teaching philosophy statements are unique to the individual. How to write a teaching philosophy? Use the Use the following question to help you think about your belief regarding teaching children. How do you view children? What is the child's role in the development and learning? What do you believe about how children learn? How do you view your role as a teacher? How will you influence your teaching? What kind of learning environment do you hope to create? How does this relate to your basic beliefs about children and learning? What do you hope young children will become? What do you want them to achieve, accomplish, learn, feel, etc.? What kind of assessment will you use to be sure that children have achieved the learning outcomes? Looking back at your childhood education, who or what approaches have the greatest impression on you and why? Vision of KBS. KBS believes in imparting knowledge, values, and nurturing the talent, enthusiasm, and creativity of its students for seeking excellence through high quality educational endeavors. Next. Mission of KBS. To cater to the educational need of children of transferable central government, including defense and paramilitary personnel, by providing a common program of education to pursue excellence and set the pace in the field of school education, to initiate and promote experiments, mentation and innovations in education in collaboration with other bodies like Central Board of Secondary Education and National Council of Education, Educational Research and Training, etc. To develop the spirit of national integration and create a sense of uniqueness among children, to provide, establish, endorse, maintain, control and manage schools, hereinafter called the Kendriya Vidyalaya for the children of transferable employees of the government of India, floating population and other including those living in remote and undeveloped location of the country, and to do all acts and things necessary for the conducive to the promotion of such schools. Vision statement of a teacher. My students will learn new skills and obtain new knowledge in a comfortable classroom environment where they can express themselves without fear. My students will be imbued with the love of learning. They will be trained to be active, constructive, and goal-oriented learners. My students will be treated as individuals and will be given due respect, and also learn to respect the view of other peers. I will take note that each student is a unique learner who deserve my love, attention, and respect. Other teachers will be inspired by my passion to adopt a constructive approach to learning so that their classroom too will be an active, fun-filled, and creative environment where every student has a chance to excel in his or her own unique way. Mission statement of a teacher: to promote a learning environment that is active, constructive, collaborative, goal-oriented, investigative, and meaningful. To encourage student-centered learning by allowing students to construct knowledge through their own investigations. To establish a strong foundation for stimulating learning as a lifelong process. To promote analytic and critical thinking so that learners will acquire meaningful knowledge, not merely remember facts. New information is created when my students make a personal discovery. So I will allow my students to undertake their own investigations to improve their understanding, to promote active engagement and meaningful dialogues to guide learners whenever necessary. Examples of teaching philosophy. As a teacher, I believe that a lesson taught is a lesson learned. My focus will be to complete the syllabus in time so that the students can get sufficient time to revise for examination. As a teacher, I believe that teaching should be a process of passion on information, instruction and resources. As a teacher, I believe that teaching should not be a process of passing on information, instruction and resources. Rather, it should be to create an atmosphere of self-learning where students are self-motivated to learn. My teaching philosophy is that all teaching and learning experiences should be self-motivated, burdenless and joyful. I want to let the children learn at their self-pace and very natural. Examples of teaching philosophy. I believe that all the contents that the students study in textbooks are available in nature. If we motivate our students to be friendly with nature, observe it, analyze it, experiment with it, then they can learn a lot from the experience, which can make textbook learning easier and burdenless. All students can learn and wants to learn. As a teacher, it's my job to meet them where they are and move them forward. I strongly believe that teaching should aim at developing 21st century skills like critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy, flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. Use the following question to help you think about your belief regarding teaching children. What do you give children? What is the child's role in their developing and learning? What do you believe about how children learn? How do you view your role as a teacher? How will you influence your teaching? What kind of learning environment do you hope to create? How does this relate to your basic belief about children and learning? What do you hope your children will become? What do you want them to achieve, accomplish, learn, feel, etc.? What kind of assessment will you use to be sure that children have achieved the learning outcomes? Looking back at your childhood education, who or what approaches have the greatest impression on you and why? टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस के यहाँ कुछ एग्जांपल आपको दिए गए हैं। पहले वाले अगर आप केस में देखिए तो आप बताइए कि क्या पहले वाले केस में पहले वाले मैंने राइट और लेफ्ट साइड में किस फिगर में टीचिंग लर्निंग हो रहा है? फर्स्ट में ये जो एक बच्चा सीढ़ी पर ऐसे चढ़ रहा है और दूसरा जो सीधे चढ़ रहा है, किसमें टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस होगी? सेकंड वाले में होगा क्योंकि सेकंड में उसको सपोर्ट है, पकड़ के चढ़ रहा है ना, तो वो सपोर्ट में है। नहीं कितना भी हाइट हो, वही टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस का मतलब यही हुआ कि अगर हम टीचर के रूप में या हमें कोई अगर कोई सपोर्ट मिल रहा है तो हम आराम से टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस को अंजाम दे सकते हैं। चलिए नेक्स्ट फिगर में देखा जाए। देखिए एक बच्चा वैसे चढ़ रहा है, दूसरा बच्चा जो है वहां तक गया तो सही है, लेकिन उसके बीच में वो गैप है, तो क्या वो ऊपर अपने जो है गोल तक पहुंच पाएगा? नहीं पहुंच पाएगा। और ये क्या किया है, ये उल्टा चढ़ रहा है सीढ़ी पर, इसका मुंह इधर है और ये जो है ना उल्टी का है, तो दोनों में जो है लर्निंग नहीं हो पा रहा है। लेकिन देखिए अगर ये नीचे वाले फिगर को अगर हम देखते हैं ना तो गैप को क्या किया गया है, एक हथेली का सहारा देकर जो है ना उसको काट दिया गया, तो टीचिंग लर्निंग हो रही है। और ये फिगर तो बहुत ज्यादा मेरे को क्लियर नहीं दिख रहा है। ये वाला भी है सीढ़ी पर चढ़ा नीचे में क्या है?
वो भी आगे डायरेक्शन।
अच्छा, और कह रहा है कि अगर टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस में अगर सपोर्ट रूपी योगदान मिलता रहेगा तो निश्चित ही हम अपने गोल को अचीव करेंगे। और देखिए लास्ट में वो बच्चा जो है ना विनिंग कप को लेकर खड़ा है। चलिए अब हम लोग देखें कि व्हाट लेसन प्लानिंग जो है जो आगे साल में हो सकता है इस सेशन में चेंज होगा वो किस तरह से होगा सर। नेक्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव, जनरल आउटकम्स, स्पेसिफिक, pedagogy, assessment. Lesson plan. Lesson plan means a teacher's planning for teaching an individual lessons. As it is a teacher's individual plan, the element of creativity and innovation inherent to the teachers and reflected in a lesson plan. Lesson planning करते समय हमें इन बातों को ध्यान रखना चाहिए। What am I teaching? How will I teach it? किसी भी सब्जेक्ट को, किसी भी टॉपिक को, who am I teaching? किसे पढ़ाने जा रहा हूँ, and how will I know if the students understand? अगर इन चारों बातों का हम ध्यान रखते हैं तो लेसन प्लान को इस तरह से बनाना चाहिए। Highlights of CBSE curriculum 2022-23. While preparing the lesson plan for the topics, these plans should have the following parts: learning outcomes, pedagogical strategy, group activity, experiments, hands-on learning, interdisciplinary linkage and infusion of life skill, values, gender sensitivity, resources, assessment item for measuring the attainment of the learning outcome, feedback and remedial teaching plan, and at last inclusive practices. Key element to be considered while preparing a lesson plan. Who are the target group? What is the context of learning? What should be the learning outcome of the lesson? Resources, material required. What other parts of the curriculum can it integrate? Time required. Educational strategy to be adopted. Learning activities and tools to be used. And at last, assessment strategy. Before preparing a lesson plan, read the portion to be taught thoroughly and outline the main points. Point the learning outcome of the students. Imagine how you would like to start your class. Think about activities related to the topic. What would engage the students? Decide the resources that you would be using. Outline your roles in the class. Outline the students' role alongside. Prepare lesson plan or any of the chapter assigned to you. Thank you.